In this video, we will show you how cloud resilience is achieved for a multi-zone SAP S/4 system. This SAP system has been deployed on an AWS region. We will demo how an on-demand recovery across to another region can be achieved for SAP resilience. We'll explore the intricacies of the SAP S/4 multi-zone cloud architecture and how Appranix discovers this entire architecture, cloud services and their dependencies. You will also understand how Appranix's Dual Vault Cloud Time Machine protects the entire SAP S/4 landscape and how we Appranix co-pilot recovery as code works to recover the entire system across to another region hyperfast. SAP S/4 is a unified solution that integrates various business functions and operates on the SAP HANA database. This powerful system can be easily deployed on AWS using the AWS Launch Wizard, enabling AWS users to fully utilize the capabilities of the SAP S/4 system. Considering the criticality of the system and its data, AWS allows users to set up cross-region database replication for the SAP system running in the US East 1 region to the US East 2 region asynchronously. This enables hyperfast cross-region recovery for the database, although not for other resources. SAP S/4 Cloud Resilience is achieved with Appranix's patented system and Dual Vault Cloud Time Machine. It provides cloud configuration backup, continuous discovery of dependencies, and proactive resilience for all the AWS SAP services. It manages HANA async cross-region replication and allows dependency-aware cold recoveries through recovery as code. The system also conducts automated resilience simulations to ensure that your SAP S/4 system is resilient. Given the challenges encountered in the past, Appranix has emerged as a crucial solution for ensuring the SAP S/4 system's recovery time objective without experiencing any downtime. Appranix encodes resources, creates backups, and replicates data, facilitating rapid recovery from regional outages or cyber attacks without requiring any manual intervention. This is what a typical SAP S/4 system on AWS looks like with all the necessary components. The system includes EC2 instances for running the core SAP software, a HANA database, and EFS storage for storing and managing data. Additionally, there are network components such as VPC, subnets, NAT gateways, and overlay IPs for routing. In the second picture, you can clearly understand the replication model of AWS, SAP S/4 within the same region, as well as the cross-regions. In the event of a regional outage, attempting a cross-region failover of your SAP S/4 system with AWS will result in the recovery of only your SAP system database, not your entire SAP system. To rebuild your entire SAP system, all the other resources need to be continuously backed up and should be capable of immediate recovery in case of an emergency. Appranix significantly reduces recovery time and complexity for cloud SAP S/4, speeds up ransomware recovery, allows frequent compliance testing, and enhances system resilience. In this SAP architecture, the instance operates in the primary region while the database replicates asynchronously to the DR region. When a disaster recovery event occurs, Appranix takes action by migrating the instance from the primary to the recovery region. It then promotes the database in the recovery region to the master role, facilitated through a recovery webhook. Ultimately, this results in an identical architecture replicated from the primary region to the recovery region, thanks to Appranix's efficient cloud resilience capabilities. Let's start the practical demonstration of SAP architecture deployment and the recovery of that SAP architecture using Appranix. For SAP deployment, we have created a VPC in the Virginia region with 2 public subnets and 2 private subnets in 2 different zones of Virginia. All the subnets are properly associated with its respective NAT and Internet gateway for secure subnet routing. Now the SAP core infrastructure resources and its application will be deployed using the AWS Launch Wizard. AWS offers a readily available SAP deployment template for reducing users' time and effort. Choose the Create Deployment option and fill the SAP deployment template based on the configuration needed. Validate the configuration and deploy the template. The SAP Launch Wizard execution has been triggered successfully. The execution usually takes some time. The wizard's execution has been successfully completed. We can view the SAP infrastructure resources created during this deployment using the Template View option available in the Cloud Formation stack. This is the stack triggered for creating the SAP resources. Select the View Designer option under the Template tab. This is how the real SAP infrastructure looks like with all the dependencies mapped. Now we are going to back up this entire set using the Appranix Cloud Resilience tool. Log into Appranix and select Create Cloud Connection. Enter the cloud connection name. Choose the operational regions, which is your source, and DR region. Add the operational region and click Next. Click on the Launch Cloud Formation Template option. Acknowledge and create the Appranix permission stack. Once the stack creation is over, copy the stack output. Paste the copied output in Step 2 box and click Finish. Now the Appranix Cloud connection is successfully created. All the resource in your Virginia region, including the SAP resources, has been discovered and listed under Appranix Cloud connection. Now select the Create Cloud Assembly option from the top right. Enter the Cloud Assembly name. Choose the primary and DR region. Click Next. Choose the SAP VPC and click Next. Choose a backup policy based on RPO required and click Next. Validate the configuration and click Finish. Once the cloud assembly creation is over, all your SAP resources will be enabled for backup under Appranix. You can find your active backups under the Repository tab. Inside the backup timeline, you can find all your SAP resources being protected in both the primary region and in your DR region. For recreating your entire SAP environment in the DR region, click the Recover button from the top right. Enter the recovery name and choose Cross-Region as the recovery type for recovering into DR region. Validate the option selected and click Recover button. This recovery will start deploying all your SAP resources one by one in the Ohio region. Using AWS Cloud Formation, we can also validate the recovery deployment status. Change the region to Ohio, which is your DR region. Now open the SAP Recovery Deployment Stack. Under Resources, you can see the SAP resources getting created one by one, similar to the AWS Launch Wizard. Now you can see that Appranix recovery has successfully finished. Within 5 mins, all the SAP resources were recovered in the Ohio region. You can find the resources recovered list under the Recovered Resource tab. While seeing the recovery deployment, we can confirm confidently that all the resource has been recovered successfully in Ohio region. We can also validate the recovered resource template view. We can see in the designer template clearly that Appranix not just recovered the resources, it has also successfully mapped all the connections between the recovered resources. At last, we can conclude with a quick comparison between the source and the recovered resource. You can clearly see that DR resources operate isolated without impacting the source resources. This notable feature instills an additional layer of confidence in the Appranix tool, particularly when conducting multiple tests for disaster recovery. It's important to note that we've delved into just one recovery option offered by Appranix in this demonstration. However, the full spectrum of Appranix tools unfolds with a myriad of recovery options for safeguarding and restoring your cloud infrastructure. This versatility and comprehensive approach underline the robustness of Appranix in ensuring the resilience and continuity of your critical systems. Thank you for your interest in Appranix. Begin your Appranix journey with our 14-day free trial. Try it today. Don't wait. Start now.